start again. It's a
Guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing well. I wanted to start this year off with my first video being a part of my Me versus Me series. If you don't know what that is, make sure you go check out my first video of the year that I put up for you guys, letting you guys know what my goals are and everything like that. But yes, this is the first video and I'm happy and excited to be starting off with the motherhood category because that is one of my favorite things, and we're just going to jump right into it. So as you can see, I am washing Maliyah's hair like I do any other day, but this is not just about hair washing. This video is about some things that I want to instill in Maliyah and have her grow up with, some principles and things I want her to believe in and things like that. So we are going to jump right into it. So I do have them written down on the side, so forgive me if you hear any pauses. I am reading what I wrote down. So let's jump into it. So the first thing is her worth is not based on her appearance. Now, obviously, I feel like a lot of women and children grow up with this. They base their worth on their appearance because of what they hear around them, because of school, like what, other kids say to them and things like that. Or it can even be based on what their parents don't say to them. For me, I struggled with this when I was younger. I didn't have the kind of parents to speak life into me, affirmations and all that kind of stuff that we're learning now. And honestly, I don't know what that would have been like or what I would have been like or if I would have been different or anything like that if my parents were to do that. So that is why I do want to do that for Maliyah, because I want her to grow up knowing that she's beautiful no matter who opinion she's hearing, no matter what outside chatter she's hearing. She needs to know that she's smart, she's beautiful, she's kind, she's sweet. She needs to know that she's intelligent and she can do anything in this world. So I don't want her to think that her beauty or her worth is based on her appearance, because her looks can change, they will change, and her self-respect and character will not. All right, guys, so the next one is I want Maliyah to know that her voice matters. And when I say it matters, I mean I feel like we're raising such a sweet child. We are going to have to teach her that, her voice matters. Everything she says is valid. And I want to teach her that, speak up for yourself, set boundaries for yourself, and advocate for yourself. Because usually if someone's intimidated in a certain kind of room, they won't do those things. And I want to teach her that no matter where you are, no matter who you are around, to know that your voice matters. You have an opinion, you have feelings, and they matter. I want her to be able to speak up and not be so timid, and I want her to know that whatever she has to say is important. The next one is that mistakes are a part of learning and not something to fear. And I think this fits Maliyah because I feel like sometimes when she messes up on things, she gets frustrated, and we see that now, and she's only 3. So we are going to have to obviously correct it and start correcting it now. So when she get older, she won't feel like making mistakes that means she didn't do well, or making mistakes means that she failed at something. So I want to teach her that, because I feel like if we don't, failure can limit her potential of thinking. I feel like it's gonna stop her in her tracks and be like, okay, well, you failed at this, now you can't do it. So I definitely don't want that to happen. I want her to be able to have a growth mindset. I want her to be able to say, okay, well, I failed at this, let me try it again, or let me get back up again. And I think that starts now at this young age, because if she wait until she get older, I feel like we're not going to be able to change that within her. So this next one kind of speaks to me as well, because I have had super hard trouble. Is that a thing? Super hard trouble. I have had trouble understanding this in my adult life, but I want to teach her that emotions are valid, but actions matter, right? And when I say I've had trouble with this, I have tried to set boundaries and people have crossed them over and over and over again. So I'm like, okay, well, this person is sad about it, let me just ignore it or ignore my feelings. I want to teach her that yes, people have emotions. I want to teach her when somebody apologizes, sure, that's okay. But don't go by their emotions. You need to go by what they're doing to correct their actions. Because if somebody apologizes but then turns around and do the same thing to you over and over and over again, that's not a friend. That's not somebody you would want around you, because it doesn't make any sense for somebody to continuously hurt you after you say, hey, this hurt my feelings, I don't like that, can we not do that again? And if they continue to do it and disregard how you feel and not change their actions, then they don't deserve to be around you. So that is something that I need to teach her. Again, that is something I struggle with in my personal life, and I think that that is definitely something that I would want her to be aware of. I wanted to teach her like accountability. I wanted to teach her maturity, and I want her to be able to understand, emotional awareness and what that is like when it comes from other people. Right. So the next one on the list is asking for help is a sign of strength to me. So I don't want Maliyah to feel like she has to do everything on her own. That is my number one thing with her. If Maliyah, let's just say hypothetically, she goes out to college or she moves out on her own or something like that and she's struggling, I want her to be able to say, hey, mom and dad, I'm struggling, I need your help, whatever. I'd rather her do that than to struggle and burn on her own. Like, I don't want her to do that. So I want her to be able to come to us and understand that, asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's not a problem. Like, if you need help, ask for it, because in the end, I feel like it's going to be very helpful to your mental health. Like, I don't want her to be struggling mentally or financially or whatever the case may be when she can ask us for help, and we're going to be here to help her in the best way that we can. And just a quick example, something that I feel like children relate to, back in the day when I was in school, like I want to say maybe 3rd, 4th grade, I never wanted to ask for help with math. I hate math till this day. I really do. It's terrible for me, right? So I remember in class, like, I never wanted to be the kid who looked like she didn't know what she was doing. So I never asked for help during class. Like, the teacher would say, hey, does anybody need help? I'll come over, walk you through it. I never wanted to be that kid because I felt like it was embarrassing to ask for help. So now that I'm older, and again, I still struggle with this sometimes, depending on what the situation is, I want Maliyah to be able to ask for help and not feel shamed. I want her to be able to step forward and say, hey, I need help because I don't understand this. Can you explain this to me? Or like the example I gave earlier, if she needs us as she get older, you can always come back and ask for help. Let us know, because I'd rather her be able to understand what's going on around her in her world, and I don't want her to just go out there blind. The next one on the list is that you are loved always. Something that I have been pondering about within motherhood is I've been wondering, like, just inside of a 3-year-old's head, like, do they feel like they're not loved if they, are disciplined or get consequences for something that they did that they weren't supposed to do, right? Because we can't ask them that because they don't know how to comprehend that just yet. They're 3, or they're children. So I always want her to feel like I love her no matter what's going on in that situation. So Maliyah, she is a lot, right? She's a lot. Like I said a long time ago, I poured a lot into Maliyah. She was my first baby. Like, I gave her all of my attention, undivided, right? So I feel like sometimes Maliyah would be doing something and I'll say, hey, Maliyah, can you, not do that, please? Because this is going to happen if you do that. Like, let's just say she's jumping on my bed. I'm like, Maliyah, stop it. You're going to fall off the bed and I don't want you to hurt yourself. And then she continues to do it until she falls. And now she's crying and upset and I'm trying to comfort her. But in my mind, I'm like, do she feel like, mommy doesn't, love me? Or do she feel like she's upset at me so I don't feel loved? Like, I wonder what those thoughts are in her head. And like I said, obviously we won't know that because she's not going to be able to comprehend that and tell us, hey, yeah, I don't feel loved in this moment. She's 3. But I always want her to feel loved. And the reason I want her to feel loved is because I feel like being loved all the time by your parents, especially, it builds confidence in the child. It builds security. Like I said, I want her to be able to come to us no matter what. But I want her to be able to do that because this typically happens, like, especially after mistakes or when she's crying and she's feeling her big emotions, her big feelings, like Miss Rachel say. I want her to always know that she's loved by us no matter what. The last one that I want to do for Maliyah or teach Maliyah is that she can do hard things, which is another thing taken from Miss Rachel, but it's so true. And we do try to implement it in our lives, in our children's lives, because I feel like it teaches independence. I feel like it pushes Maliyah. If she's hesitant about doing something or learning something and she doesn't want to really do it, I tell her, you can do hard things. Like, it really stands true to what the words say. I feel like it makes her understand that I can do anything. I can try this and I'll be okay after I try it. And most of the time she feels good about it. She'd be so happy when she completes something after I say you can do hard things, or something that she feels is impossible. So I absolutely want to instill that in her. But please forgive me if I'm rambling or stumbling over my words. As I'm thinking about Maliyah and reading the stuff I wrote down, so many thoughts are coming to my head, but I don't want this video to be too long. So yes, that is the last one. If you guys have your own that you teach your children, please drop it in the comments and let me know. But yes, that is it. So I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.